Well, all right, fine. So I need to look for a better position. That didn't look too fantastic. All right, good evening, everyone. And if you're just joining, this is the Growth Room Live with Mark on Oja. Uh, Good to have you here. So I would need like 3 minutes to do some proper setup. So if you're watching this video sometimes later, um, you may need to just join in, say, when it's like 3 minutes, so that's when the live proper actually starts. All right, so 1 minute. All right, fine. So I just have one or two persons to invite. So once I'm done inviting them, yeah, I'll get started, and we're going to have a great time today because I'll be sharing with you how to attract investors for your business, how to become fundable, right? How to attract investors for your business. I've worked with a lot of persons that have been able to raise capitals in hundreds of thousands of dollars and some in millions too of dollars and in millions of naira too. So, and I understand one or two ways that you could use to raise capital for your business, and I will be sharing that with you today in the growth room. So, let's share one or two stuff with persons here, then we can get started. So, just 1 minute is to share this with my community. Kindly post in the comment section your name and where, from the part of the world you're joining from. My name is Michael, I'm joining from Atlanta, Georgia. Fine, so just basically get to share that, and yeah, so we'll get started. So let's invite persons to join us. Yep. Okay, your name, where you're joining from. I will appreciate that. Your name, where you're joining from. Um, then you can also share this live with a friend. So you can also share this live with a friend. Your name, where you're joining from, and do share this live with a friend. Your name, where you're joining from, and kindly share this live with a friend. This would help somebody with his or her business, with the person ability to grow his business by raising capital, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to definitely have a good time. So your name, where you're joining from, community. Um, yep. Okay. I'm almost done. Done. Yeah. EDC, MSME. All right. So if you're just joining us, kindly share where you're joining from and what's your name, right? So your name and where you're joining from. All right, so thanks for joining. So like I said, my name is Mark Onoja, and this if this is your first time trying to work on this lighting. Now, and if this is your first time, you are welcome to the Growth Room live, and the Growth Room is a live, right, live on YouTube by all the Growth Room every Thursday within the hour of 7 to 8 p.m. GMT. plus one, what I share with you on how to start, grow, and scale your business. That the whole idea about joining the growth room is that once you join the growth room, one of the things that happens is that your business is going to grow. So you will get an idea, you will get a tip, you get an insight from one of the days of the growth room to help you grow your business. And today we are talking about how to attract investors to your business. So we're talking about attracting investors. Now, we're going to get started. So I like to start early. So it's within an hour. So let's get started. So one of the first things you need to understand when it comes to attracting investors and becoming fundable is that let's talk about what a business is and the part of a business, right? And talk about, so when you have an organized system, that is creating value, right? And at the end of the day, you are exchanging that value for profits. You are in business. So when you put a system in place that is creating value and you're being rewarded at the end of the day, you are in business, right? And fundamentally, business has to do with three parts. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is just to give us perspective before we go on to the part of actually doing the part when it comes to raising capital to grow our business. So every business has to do with three parts. Every business you say, except is an NGO. Every business you say, I have nothing against NGO. They're great guys. Social entrepreneurs are great guys, but I'm basically talking to entrepreneurs, right? Capital entrepreneurs that not socialists, but capital entrepreneurs that provide value, say in need in the marketplace, provide value, being rewarded for it. So every business has to do with three parts. So there are three major parts that surround a business, right? So pardon me, there is one last invite I need to send. If I don't do this, I'm going to get queried. So I have some broadcast lists that they always expect my invites for every of my life. So I want to send that to them. So when I'm done with that, then we can get started. So, like I was saying, every business generally, anything you see, business, any business you've seen existing has to do with three parts. So three major parts surrounds a business. So the first one is that a business is about recognizing need. There's a need fundamentally for business. There's a need in the marketplace. You could create a solution to that need in terms of value that come as products and services. Then you are being rewarded. So that is business. Fundamentally, foundational wise, when your business grows, there are other parts that evolves with it. But fundamentally, your business recognizes a need in the marketplace. You create a solution to that need, and you are being rewarded. Now, if there is no need in the marketplace, or you're not creating a solution to any need and you're getting reward, your business will not last. Business exists because of there's a need in the marketplace and you're creating a solution to the need. So I did a lot of classes for entrepreneurs. And yesterday I was taking a class and somebody was asking an interesting question. This is just a side gist. I think it's going to help somebody. And the person was asking the question. She said that she was saying somewhere before. So she changed home, she changed location within Nigeria. I think she moved from one part of Nigeria to southwest to Lagos. And she then started asking questions that people were doing the same thing that she was doing, and she doesn't have that network and stuff. What type of business would she do? What business do I advise her to do? I said, say, I can't advise you on any business to do, except that you need to go do research as regards what are the needs of people around you. Ask yourself, do you have that capacity, competence, the resources to meet this need? If yes, you meet that need and you are being rewarded. It's as simple as that. So business exists when there is a need in the marketplace. You provide solutions to that need and you're being rewarded. If you provide solutions to need, you'll be rewarded, and simple and short. All right. I shared more of this in my forthcoming book, Business Growth Playbook for startup and small business entrepreneurs in Africa. So I shared that in my forthcoming book. The book will be out by 18th of December. I would start sharing more about the book from next month, from October. So let's dive into today. So how do you attract funding for investors? How do you attract funding from investors? How do you attract investors? How do you attract money into your business? Now, like I said, I have coached a lot of persons that have been able to get funding. In fact, last year, I coached someone and she was able to become top 20 all over the world. She won
the regional final, she won the national final in Nigeria, she won Africa, and she went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and of course she came top 20. And I've coached a lot of persons like that that has gone on to win funding from people and to get and attract investors, right? I help people package all of those stuff to get. So there are four primarily ways you use to package yourself. Not just package yourself, there are four primary ways you attract investors. And I will be sharing you on these ways, and I'll also be sharing examples as regards to these ways. Mind you, one of the first thing you need to know is that money is not scarce and investors are not scarce. So when you come to a point in your business when you start tell yourself things like, my business is not attracting investors, it means there's no investors out there. Is a lie. Okay, fine. So let me pause. Kindly go to the comment section, like, share this with a friend, and of course, type your name and where you're joining from. It's going to help with the algorithm so that this is going to go out very well. So your name and where you're joining from. Thank you for liking. Also type your name and where you're joining from. If this is your first time for joining, thank you for coming for the growth room. It's good to have you here. Do like, subscribe, and share my YouTube link with friends. I drop premium content every day, shorts and videos every day. And of course, you can catch me live every week. So, four ways. So, number one thing you need to know, that mindset shift is that there's money. Don't just put it there. There is money. So I see a lot of startups that are looking for investors, they're looking for investors, they're looking for investors. Sometimes I give them some ideas on how to attract investors. One of the primary things I tell them first is that there's money out there. Money. Oluwatosin from Lagos, Sholeye. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining. Now, there is money on the earth. There is money, there are investors. It's just that you and the investors have not met, or your business is not positioned to attract investors. So I'm going to share. Ezekiel from Lagos, thank you for joining. All right, so I'm going to be sharing with you on how to attract investors. So the first and primary way for attracting investor is to be, let's say the drum, is to be credit worthy. In other words, have trust. Now, one of the primary things for you to attract investors is that you should be somebody that is trustworthy. Let me repeat myself again. Someone that is credit worthy or somebody that is trustworthy. You should be somebody that has trust. People can trust. Now, if you're somebody that people cannot trust, people cannot have integrity, you cannot attract investors. Now, one of the reasons why I love this guy very well, I love him very well. I've never met him in person, but I love him very, very well. His name is called Aliko Dangote. He's the richest black man in Africa, at least the one that's been declared. We know there are some secret rich folks in Africa that their wealth cannot be declared because it was not gotten legitimately. But let's just leave that gist for another day. um he was able to build a refinery in Lagos. And I remember I read the reports then that the refinery was for $8 billion. I know he actually spent more than that, but he dropped half of the money, and the other half he got from like some banks. One of them was this Afri Invest, not Afri Invest, Africa Exchange. They call them AfriX, AfriX, something of that nature. Now, why will Dangote attract $4 billion for a kind of industry that is already being disrupted with the Elon Musk and the EV kind of cars and stuff? Dangote has trust. Why? Because people can trust Dangote. Right? His name has integrity backing it. Right? There are some persons that banks are chasing with money, investors are chasing with money, but you are chasing investors. The difference between you and those people is just one thing: trust. Your name does not carry that integrity and trust. So your business should be built in such a way that it carries integrity and trust. I'm a Christian, and I love this verse of the Bible by King Solomon Davidson. And he made a statement. He said, "A good name is better to be preferred than silver and gold." Right? And that word, so I read it. I think I read it today. I read it today. I know it's 22nd verse of Proverbs. I read the one proverb per day, but I just I just opened there, I read it, and I went back to the normal proverb I was supposed to read. Yeah. And I just thought about it and it's very important. So there's somebody that paid for a class that we're supposed to do, and the class is not holding. We didn't get enough people. I want to send the person's money back. And somebody else again, I want to send the person's money back. So you have to be somebody that has integrity. So you right now you are doing business, you don't keep to your word, number one. Some of those people are going to be your potential investors in future. In fact, you borrow money from people to do business, from your friends and family, and you don't return the money back. Or before you do business, you are somebody that you just say, "Oh, give me 2K," yeah, and you don't bring the money back. It means you don't have integrity. If your business is a one that people know that don't have integrity, nobody will give you funding. That is the most important. In fact, that is number one. Social capital is very, 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 very important. So you must be somebody that has integrity, right? Say it after me. Integrity. You must have trust. There must be that trust backing your name, that capital backing your name, that social capital called integrity. That is the number one and primary way for attracting investors. Your name must carry trust. In fact, there are some persons that have not started business. They just talk to some investors that I have an idea to do some things like that, and they give them money blindly. Why? Because they know this person will bring the money back, right? I know. I think Mr. Femi Otedola wrote a book recently, making it big. And a lot of persons are talking about the craze of the book. I've not read the book. I'm going to read it maybe during December or next year. And I have some other books I'm reading now, so let me not spoil my reading plan. And the guy was going to pay back. His name carries weight. So you don't go and try it. You get arrested. So have integrity. Your word and your name should carry weight. If you tell people you will get back to them, get back to them. If you cannot get back to them, the time you try to get back to them, start by apologizing first. You should be somebody that should deliver on your words, deliver on your promise. This helps you investable. It makes your investment quotient go up. Now, one of the things that happened to us in Nigeria, and I'm already starting to become a voice within the SME sector, and I'm going to really be talking more about it, is that I studied the Kenyan market. And is it M-Pesa? It's not M-Pesa. But one of the banks there in Kenya, they loan women money using Palasa. They call it Palasa phone. Oh, sorry if you're not in Nigeria. You may not know Palasa, but Palasa is just a monophonic phone, right? Those Nokia 3310 stuff, like blue light phones. And they loan people money using text. Those people go to the market, buy with market women, buy from villagers, go sell, gets the profit and pay back. And nobody is using collateral to pursue anybody. Everybody is fine. But Nigeria, OPay and the rest have chased people. have used different means to chase people. Why? Because of we just lack integrity in this part of the world, and it's killing us, right? So you must have integrity. That is the first way for raising capital. All right. The second way for raising capital, how you attract investors, the second primary way for attracting investors is that your business should have a structure, a management system. I can also put it a corporate governance. So I say structure, your business should have a structure, is that investors usually don't like investing in a one-man business, because if anything happens to you, their money have disappeared. So you are the alpha and omega. You are if you want to get grants, you can get grants. So grants are small money. I'm talking about institution investors that will come and invest in your business to scale and go global. Grants don't help people scale and go global. Nobody has gotten grants and scaled and went global. Mm-mm. It's institutional investors that come to your business to invest that makes you scale and go global. I just hope I've helped somebody with that. People don't use grants to scale and grow global. Grant is just to start and to keep you above the water. But institutional investors that will come, invest in your business, that will help you build that structure to scale and go global. Those are the ones I'm talking about, not grants. Leave grants. So back to what I'm saying, that investors don't invest in businesses that don't have a system in place. There's no management system. You are the alpha and omega. You don't have a sales process. You don't have an accounting process. Money comes to your personal account, not a business account. All right, Tinubu is after us next year. All right. So money comes to your personal account, not your business account. You don't pay taxes. You don't have staffs that you work with. There's no extra structure. There's no corporate governance. Even if you don't have a board members, you don't have member board of directors. You don't have not board right now. For some businesses, you require a board, but you don't even have a group of people that advise you. Right? People will not invest in your business, and that is just the truth. So I see a lot of persons trying to get investors, and there's no system in place. There is no system. There is no system. There is no structure. They are just doing business on God and God abeg go. You will not attract investors. Institutional investors, you will not attract. They will look at your business, no matter how much beautiful your idea is, they will not attract. Sorry, I'm just being very brutal. It's just basically to help you. No matter how good your business is, they would not invest in it. Why? Because they just know that your business is it's a how will I use this term? Your business is it's something that is a risk, is a high risk business because if anything happens to you, the money has gone. You can fall sick today and business crash and stay still, right? So what do you do right now? You need to start building systems and structures to your business. Everything must not be about you. You should start building system and structure. So we'll talk about system and structure maybe next month, right? Yeah, next month. This throughout this month is finance we're talking about. So in the next month we'll talk about investment throughout this month. So we'll talk about system and structure, talk about how to put systems in place in your business, what kind of systems you need to place in place, what type of people you need to bring in and stuff, just to make sure that you are fundable. Because once they come to do their due diligence and say that regulatory wise, you pay your taxes, you see you're fine, and you have a corporate structure, you have people in place in your business that can be able to hold the weight of that business and that structure, then they can bring their funding in. So the second reason why people don't attract investors, or the second reason why you can use to attract investors is that your business has to have a structure, that management structure, that corporate governance in place. If you really don't have it, chances are you will not attract institutional investors. I have seen people real life lose money from investors. Why? Because this part is missing. You need to create that structure, right? So, number three, the number three ways that make people attract investors, why people attract investors, or why people don't attract investors is that they don't have traction. So, let's talk about this traction part. Traction does means results. Another word for traction is results. Another word for traction means that what you have done previously, yeah, right? Your portfolio, they don't have results because most times institutional investors don't invest in idea stage business. I know sometimes people will have an idea stage business, right? Go and get a grant. But now, most investors don't like investing in idea stage business because the risk is too much. They like to invest in businesses that have a bit of attraction. So I sit on a lot of panels almost every month that do reviews of people's pitch and stuff. I did one sometimes, I think sometimes last month. And at a point in time, some of them were praying that I shouldn't talk because I was asking them some very tough questions. I'm reviewing 10 people's application. And out of the 10 people, I think I've approved like 4 to go to the next stage. 2 out of them, I said, no going to the next stage. In fact, out of those 4, three went, one was waitlist. And I just basically checked traction. You should have traction. What is traction? You should have results. So if your business doesn't have a form of a result, you won't attract investors. And the number one result, or the number one result people look at for, institutional investors look at for when they want to invest in your business, is that they watch out for making money, revenue. I'm not saying profits. Your business may not necessarily be making profits. What is this name of this guy? Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Amazon was declaring loss for almost 10 plus years, right? Before they attracted investors. Well, investors wasn't coming before they started making profit, right? Now Amazon is making profit. But the thing is that they were attracting investors despite they were making loss. But guess what? They were making sales. They were making revenue. Another word for sales is revenue, and another word for revenue is income. So income equals to revenue, is equals to sales. Your business should be making revenue. If your business is not making revenue, you will not attract investors. And that is just the truth. Nobody wants to invest in something that is not producing results. So number one result is revenue. Put it as number one. So a lot of startups may watch startups, right? Tech startup may watch this video and like, nah, download. Download is not traction because I can download what your product is, right? Your app is, and I might just download it and I don't use anything. Or I can like your post, I can share your post for the sake of sharing or for the sake of liking. That is not traction, right? Brand awareness is not good traction. Sales is traction, is the number one traction you should be looking at. You can look at how many customer base you have also too is a good traction. But customer base, if somebody is a customer, it means that the person has bought from you before, right? So basically that is it. So you need to have traction. If you don't have traction, people, institutional investors will not invest in your business. Even your normal friends and family, they will want to see results before they can invest in. And that is just basically the truth. So you need to have traction. So if you want to invest in your business, you need to have traction. And you need to also keep record of your traction. So if you are not keeping record of your traction, you will attract investors. So you need to have traction and you need to keep record of your traction. So number one, I said that the number one way for attracting investors, why you can attract investors, is that you must have trust, integrity. You must have that social capital. Number two is that you must have that management system in place, that corporate governance. Put all of those things in place. If you don't do that, you won't attract investors. Number three is that you must have traction. If you don't have traction, you cannot attract investors. Why? Because investors are only interested in investing in something that is working for it to grow, right? For it to grow and grow big, right? Sorry, my kid. All right, number four. So let's take number four. We'll take number four and take some questions, then we'll be done with today's live. So number four is how you package your presentation is what makes you attract investors. Now, packaging of presentation. So people spend, I know of some persons that I do pitch deck. We design pitch deck for people. We design business plan for people. And I know we really do charge people a lot of money for that. If you're interested in that, of course, you can send me a message. I would be able to help you with that, to package your pitch deck or to package um your business plan. So, but how you package your idea determines whether you will attract investors or get investors. Now, I've seen some people's idea that are very beautiful, beautiful ideas. They have good traction, they have good management system, but how they packaged, how they packaged their business in terms of how they put the ideas together and how they presented the ideas before investors really didn't work well. So in this YouTube video, I'm going to tag a video where I talked about how to pitch your business, right? I'm going to tag that video today. So I think after this, you need to watch it. I'll put it also in the comment section too, so that you can actually watch it too. So how you present to investors matters a lot. If you are not somebody that knows how to package your idea, put it in a documented format, put it in a good slide point and PowerPoint, give it to somebody, call us, we'll help you with that, right? So, but if you don't do that, you can't communicate to investors because a lot of things are in your mind and a lot of things are in your head, and investors are seeing for how somebody will prove to them that this thing that they are trying to sell is the next best thing after sliced bread. So if you don't know how to package your business properly and present it properly to investors, you will not attract funding. I've seen people that they didn't even have the best of idea. They didn't have, the traction was just few, but they were able to talk well. They had great presentation, great PowerPoint, great slide, and they were able to win. In fact, the best that I coached, the people I've coached so far that have won, right? Most of them, they had traction, but the traction was not that great. But I worked on them to present better. I taught them the act of presenting their pitch to somebody. And once they learned how to present their pitch to investors, they won. All of them won. All of them won. Like, I've never coached anybody that the person did not come first, or most. In fact, there's one time I coached the first person, the first runner up. Both of them were my guys. All right. In fact, there's one like, I think the first, second, third, even the fifth all the guys I coached, right? So I basically do that. I coach them on how to present to investors. There are certain things you say. So that's packaging and that's presenting. So you need to basically do that. So when we prepare business plan for people or pitch deck, we know basically how to create that flow, how to package it so that investors can put money down for the business. Because if you don't do that, you can't attract investors. And investors basically they don't have time. They are just looking for the next thing that is like a shiny object and provides a form of attraction to them, and they can be able to buy. I think water has finished from my throat. I need to drink water right now. Pardon me. So, four things we said today. Four things we said today. Number one, sorry, my throat. Number one is that you need to note that there is money out there, right? There's money out there. First mindset shift. There is money out there. There are investors out there. Investors are not scarce. Money are not scarce. Money comes into Nigeria every day. There are investors out there. Investors in Naira, investors in pounds. Good investors out there, right? Number two, is that you need to know that there are four ways for attracting investors, right? The number one way is trust. You need to have trust. I have sat down with investors that invest in millions of dollars, and they told us in the class that they only invest in businesses that they trust the people, they trust the founders. You should be somebody that have trust. People should be able to trust you, right? So you should have trust because they will do their due diligence and ask people about you. If you are somebody that they say, this one, if you do business with this one, they will not deliver. If you do business with this one, they will borrow money, they will not pay back. They will not invest in your business. The next thing is that your business should have a structure. Take this important. You don't record your funds. You don't record your funds that come in and go out. Your business doesn't have structure. You are just the only one working in your business. Please go and look for grants. Don't look for institutional investors, right? So if your business doesn't have structure, that corporate governance, you don't have people that basically can take on some part of your business. You are just the alpha and omega. You're everything within your business. You will not attract investors. Um, Thirdly, we say that if you want to attract investors as a business, you must have traction. You should have results. If you don't have results, people will not invest in your business. And that is just the truth. Result is too important. You need to have results. And what is the primary result? You must have sales. You should have been making money. Right? Not idea stage business, not I want to do, I am doing, and this is the amount we are making. Even if it is very small, they'll know that there is potential in this. Even me, I will not invest in a business that is not making revenue. I will not. Now, thirdly, or fourthly, actually, is that your business, you need to learn how to package yourself properly and present yourself properly. So, if you don't learn how to package your business properly in terms of creating documents that represent what that present your business in a proper light, and also um, um, present to investors properly and pitch to investors properly, you will not attract funding. So these are the four ways for you to understand how to basically attract investors, right? So in the next class, in the next live we're going to take, we would be sharing more as regards to funding, and I would just basically be talking about different kind of funding you should look at and how to gets them, right? The institutional investors, what they look at, or David, I will basically talk about how to pitch to investors, right? How to pitch to investors. I'll talk about pitching to investors. Let's talk about pitching to investors. So I'm going to talk about pitching to investors next week, right? Next live we're going to have next week, Thursday. So thank you very much for joining. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section after this live. I would respond to it. I always respond to the comment section. Or for the persons that are here, if you have any question, maybe you could drop it on the lives in the comment section. If not, I want to say a big thank you for joining the live. It's usually within an hour. I didn't say 1 hour, within an hour. So I don't think there's any questions from anyone right now. Uh, All right. So thank you everyone for joining. So next live, we're going to talk about how to pitch to investors, right? How to present to investors properly. Um, how to thank you, Mr. Ruben. All right. All right. So next live, we're going to talk about